Hey, welcome to How to Start an LLC's File Yourself, File for Free EIN tutorial, otherwise called an Employer Identification Number. If you want to learn more about what an EIN is, when to get one, and why it's important, you can check out our video about it here. There's a little bit of prep, and we'll show you what options are available for those in the US and those who are outside of the US. Oh, and at the end, we've got some information about how to get someone else to do it for you. Let's get started. Options to apply for an EIN. If your business is in the US or is in a US territory, you can apply for an EIN online, by mail, or by fax. Only international applicants can apply by phone. At the end of the video, we'll go over how to get one if you're outside the US. Online application. The quickest and easiest way is to apply online through the IRS website. We're going to show you how to do it in just a second. We like this version because you'll get your EIN instantly because the information you provide is validated right away. Just a note, the IRS won't process your application online if the responsible party listed is an entity with an EIN previously obtained through the internet. So you'll need to use one of these offline options. You can apply by mail. If you prefer the old school method, you can download Form SS4 from the IRS website, fill it out, and then mail it to the appropriate IRS office. This has the same information as what we'll be going over later, just in a standard government document formatting. Be prepared to wait about 4 weeks for your EIN if you choose this route. The mailing address is here. Another option is to apply by fax. You can also apply by fax, again, by downloading and completing IRS Form SS4, and the fax number is here. The IRS promises to have your EIN ready within 4 business days if you fax. Don't forget to include your own fax number, and if you don't, you'll have to wait about a month to get it by mail. You can also use a service. If you're using a service, they might charge you about $30 to do it on your behalf, and will offer a guarantee that it's done right, but you can weigh whether or not that's a good trade-off for you. More on that at the end. What information do I need? In return for issuing an EIN, the IRS will ask for quite a bit of information. Applying is very quick and totally free if you're doing it yourself. Before you begin, just know that for whatever reason, the IRS online portal for EINs is only open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. EST. No midnight EINs for you. No Saturday morning EINs for you. And to keep you from going back and forth, have the following information on hand so you can quickly plug it all in. The portal times out if you're inactive for 15 minutes, so this will help you avoid the headache of starting over and over. Legal name of the entity applying for the EIN, trade name or doing business as or DBA name, if applicable, type of legal structure, for example, sole proprietorship, partnership, corporation, LLC, and so on. This is a moment to make sure you have the right legal structure for your business. You'll probably need to completely refile if you change this later. Business address must be a physical address, not a PO box. If you use a service like Northwest, it may be their address if you elected to use theirs to shield your personal information. Mailing address, if it's different from the business address. Again, if you've got a registered agent, it may be theirs if you selected that option. The reason for applying for an EIN, for example, new business, hiring employees, banking purposes, and so on. Starting date, which is the date the business was started or acquired. Fiscal year end, which is the closing month of the accounting year for you fiscal year filers. Projected workforce, which is the number of employees you have or expect to have in the next 12 months. Type of business, your primary business activity or principal line of business. Workforce peak, which is your estimate for the highest number of employees expected during the next 12 months. Responsible party name and ID, name and social security number or individual taxpayer identification number of the responsible party. It could be an owner or officer. And finally, signature of the responsible party. This is usually a one-off submission. So once you have this number, it will basically act as a shortcut to all this information when you plug it into forms. And although this information is personal data, it will be summarized and used for economic statistical purposes, such as keeping track of employment levels and business starts. Keep in mind, if any of this information changes, say you change your name, you add or change DPA, you get a new address, or the number of employees you have changes, you'll want to update your EIN to reflect that. That's through Form 8822B, and unfortunately you do need to mail it straight to the IRS. There's no web portal for that. If you have a service, usually they can do that update for you. File online tutorial. First things first, Be sure you're on the real IRS website. Use the link below if you want to be extra sure you're in the right place. If you Google IRS EIN, sponsored links pop up before the official one, which is very annoying because these sites are looking to harvest your information or charge you to file. Never pay for an EIN except through a formation service if you're opting in. You're going to want to be on the actual IRS website, and you'll go down and you can hit apply online now, and then you should get a page that's like this. And let's begin. All right, we've gotten some questions about this, so here's the answer. If you're an LLC who has been elected to be taxed as an S Corp, which means filing Form 8832 and then Form 2553, you still need to select an LLC. S Corp in this instance is just a tax designation, not your entity type. If you select the wrong option, you won't be able to properly fill in the rest. Your legal business name as an LLC will have some kind of initials at the end of your business name, like LC, LLC, and so on. If you select a corporation, they won't let you add those initials, and again, your filing will be inaccurate. Let's select LLC and continue. It's going to triple check with you. This is what an LLC is. How many members? For this, let's just say 1. And let's say we're in Michigan. Continue. So it's saying we're going to be a single member LLC. That makes sense. And again, if we want to be identified for tax purposes for S Corp status, these are the forms that we're going to need to file. Selecting the reason that you're obtaining an EIN, you're likely going to be on these top 3 reasons. You are either starting a new business, or you hired employees, and an EIN is what you need in order to hire employees, or you are opening up a bank account and you're satisfying banking requirements. Those are the general reasons why someone starts an EIN. So let's say start a new business. Now I'm going to put in some of my personal information that our handy dandy editor will make sure that you don't see. My first name, my last name, that I definitely know how to spell, and I don't have any suffixes. And then, even more dope, my actual social security number. Perfect. I am one of the owners. Continue. You will put in your address, which again, our editor will make sure that you don't know what my address is. On the addresses page, if your mailing address and your business address are different, then be sure to fill that part out. This may be relevant to you if you have a registered agent or a service accepting mail on your behalf. You can get it instantly online. That's the best option. You can add the PDF into something like Google Drive if you don't have Acrobat, and make sure you hang on to this document. Legal name of your LLC, let's just say it's this. Trade name or DBA if it's different. Let's say we filed a DBA, and what state or territory, and the LLC start date. Now this is details about the assets that your business has. I don't have a motor vehicle that weighs over 55,000 pounds. I don't deal with gambling or wagering. I don't have excise tax needs. I don't manufacture alcohol. And I'm not going to have any employees, but you might have to do this, especially if employees are the reason that you're applying. And then what does my business do? Let's go to other. Let's say service. Let's say video production. Let's do receive letter online. And then I would hit continue, but I'm not going to do that because this isn't a real EIN. And then you'll get your EIN number immediately. How to apply for an EIN if you don't live in the US. Now let's switch gears and address our international viewers. If you're a foreigner who needs an EIN to conduct business in the United States, here's how you can apply. International applicants can apply for an EIN by phone, by mail, or by fax. You cannot apply online for an EIN. By mail or fax, you'll download Form SS4, fill it out, and submit it by mail or fax. Their addresses are here. However, if you don't have an SSN or ITIN, you must include a Form W-7, application for IRS Individual Taxpayer Identification Number, with your EIN application. This way, the IRS can process both requests simultaneously. By telephone. If you are a foreign resident, an application can be made over the phone. Be sure that the person calling has the info to answer questions on the Form SS4 and is authorized to receive the EIN, which will be assigned at the end of the call. Here's the number that you'll be calling. It's not a toll-free number, so overseas callers will have to pay the costs charged by their carrier. The line will be open from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Appointing a third-party designee. An alternative for those who are not physically present in the U.S. is to appoint a third-party designee to make the application. The designee, who may be an attorney or accountant or some other trusted person, will apply for the EIN on your behalf. There's a part of the Form SS4 for required information on the designee. You'll have to submit the designee's name and street address, as well as your telephone number and theirs. You must sign Form SS4. The third-party designee authorization will only be effective if you do so. The authority granted to the third-party designee only applies to obtaining an EIN. Once the EIN is assigned and transferred to the designee, that authority ceases. And there you have it, everything you need to know about getting an EIN. Remember, no matter where you are or how you choose to file, filing is free. The IRS does not charge a filing fee for applying for an EIN. Do not pay for an EIN. Don't forget to check out the link in the description for the official IRS website, where you can find detailed instructions and resources to help you apply for an EIN hassle-free. We have a free walkthrough on our website as well if you want a text-based version of this guide. We mentioned earlier that if you sign up with a registered agent service like Northwest, Zen Business, LegalZoom, Rocket Lawyer, and so on, they usually offer an upcharge to file your EIN for you. You can check out reviews of their services here and linked below if you want to learn more. If you have questions about getting taxed as an S-Corp, a professional service would also be able to answer those kinds of questions and evaluate your best course of action. We also have links below to our preferred credible services if you're looking for a nice discount. We do earn a commission from our partner links, but commissions do not affect our opinions or evaluations. Plus, those links are exclusive deals that are the lowest that you can get. If you find a better price, let us know. We negotiate those deals for your benefit. If you have any more questions or need further assistance, feel free to leave a comment below and we'll do our best to help you out. Good luck with your small business.